Horror fucking movies are my all-time favorite things. I watch them constantly. It's basically the only genre that I like watching anymore. Even though some of the storylines are similar as hell because creativity in the horror industry has kind of went a little downhill. What is your favorite scary movie? I think The Shining is the best horror movie of all time. There's so many ways that you can interpret the movie. It just amazes me, and every time I watch it I see something new or notice something else every time or put something else together. And the cinematography, the acting, the storyline, it's just fucking incredible. I would not change a thing about the film, and right now I'm in the process of reading the book. Second question, who is your favorite Scream Queen? It would have to be Jamie Lee Curtis. I think she did amazing in Halloween. Shout out to Freaky Friday though, she did great in that film too. What type of horror film do I like? I actually love found footage films. A lot of people don't really vibe with those, but I love them. As Above, So Below, Creep, Grave Encounters. There's a lot of them that I think are really fucking cool. I also like that they use actors that we normally don't really know, so it kind of gives more of a real feel to it. What type of horror film do I not like? I'm not into the zombie vibe, and I'm also not into too much CGI. I know that's not a genre, but if you're using too much CGI in a horror film, I feel like it kind of ruins the horror aspect of it. I thought the new It was incredible, but the overused amount of CGI in the film killed a lot of it for me. But as a whole film, like, I fucking loved it. I went to go see it twice, but it took me a while to get over the fact that I didn't like all the CGI that they used. If I was a Scream Queen in any movie, which would it be? I would probably want to be a Scream Queen in something like Nightmare on Elm Street. The kill scenes in there were super fucking cool, and I don't know, being a part of that as a Scream Queen I think would be amazing. My favorite horror villain, speaking of Nightmare on Elm Street, is definitely Freddy Krueger. The real life story that Freddy Krueger is based off of, on top of someone fucking being able to kill you while you're sleeping. The creativity with those types of films is just amazing. The worst horror villain, I would have to say Chucky. It's kind of a lame concept. I dig Chucky. I kind of was not for it at first. I thought it was pretty dumb. And to this day, I don't think it's like the greatest concept of all time, but I'll still watch them. I have a Chucky shirt, so I'm being kind of fake, but I think that whole concept is probably the lamest horror villain. It's a little fucking doll that looks like literal Chucky from Rugrats. What is the worst horror film you have seen and why? And there's so many horror films out there that I've watched just because they're funny, because they're so bad, but like they're supposed to be bad, I think. Birdemic and shit like that. There's a lot of horror films that I used to watch that were, I think, purposefully bad. I hope so. Okay, if they're supposed to be bad, I would say The Landlord. Check that shit out. It's fucking terrible, but it's funny as hell. It's so fucking bad. I've never seen anything like Evil Bong or The Leprechaun, so those are probably worse. I don't know. I've never watched those. Which horror film do you think is overrated? I'm not saying I don't like these films. The whole Conjuring, Annabelle thing aren't the best, and I think they get a lot more hype than they should. I'm just not super into them like I wish I was. I'm into them, like I'll go see them in theaters and everything, but I don't know. I don't get all the hype around them. Which horror film is underrated? I think Cabin in the Woods was underrated. I know there was a lot of weird reviews about it, and it was kind of like poking fun at horror at the same time. But I think when horror sometimes incorporates humorous things in the correct way, it works well, obviously, and I think it did for that film. Do you like horror movie spoofs? If we're talking about Scary Movie 1 through 5 or whatever, or shit like that, I never thought those were that funny. They're kind of super overdone and super cheesy in my opinion. Favorite horror movie series? Definitely Nightmare on Elm Street. I think it's an incredible fucking series. I think it's creative as hell, on top of just being a cool ass storyline, as I talked about before when I was talking about Nightmare on Elm Street. And I also really like the Saw series. I think the series was awesome, but they stretched it out way too long. Honestly, the storyline, I got totally lost. I don't even know what's going on. I don't even know what this new one's gonna be about, really. Hopefully it's good, because I'm kind of like stoked to see where they go with it, because I thought the last one was the last one. Name 13 horror villains. There's Pennywise, Freddy, Jason, Michael, Pinhead, Hannibal Lecter, Leatherface, Samara, Norman Bates, Chucky, Ghostface, Babadook, and Jigsaw. There it is. In the description below or on the screen somewhere, I'm gonna list my favorite new age horror and classic horror. I feel like my list changes very frequently. Maybe I'll do it in the description because then I can change it. So let me know in the comments below what your favorites are, because I love hearing others' opinion on horror movies, and you can maybe answer the questions in the comments below, or even make your own video. So make your own horror tag, because I think this is a cool tag. I love hearing people's opinion on horror, and I like talking about it. So comment down below so we can start talking about some scary fucking movies. You know, I wish I could have gotten into some more things. I think I want to start doing on this channel reviews on certain movies, because I watch horror movies literally all the time, and I feel like reviews on some would be kind of cool to watch, because I like watching horror reviews. My favorite person to watch horror reviews from is Sarah Hawkinson. I've been watching her forever now. I love all the horror videos she posts, so I think I might start posting some things like that, because I love like the direction she goes in with her channel. Subscribe, like, comment, do all that shit. Bye!